Okay, we're live. I did not prepare very well for this one today. I really don't know what to talk about. Let's see. I'm going to talk about one thing if one of the subscriber gets on here. He was asking me about a 99 V10. We might start talking about it. That way he gets on later. He can look at it. But yeah. Oh, turn that down. Let's see. Nothing new with me. What have I done this week? Did some brakes on a Chevy Cruze. I had to change a tank on a Bronco. Oh, I can share that with you guys. Wow, but I can't. I still haven't got figured out how I can use, or I can show you screen, like my computer screen, and I can flip back to the camera. I need to figure out how to do that. Why am I on images? There we go. Well, I guess I should have looked that up before. Wait, what's this? 100 course. Can I do it on YouTube? Don't have access to that feature. You don't have access to that feature. Well, I'm just not. I don't know. What's this? Share screen. Oh. Well, wouldn't that be something? Let's see if I can do it. Right here. Now let's go back to here. No, window. No, Chrome tab. Chrome tab. Window. Chrome tab. Okay, I'm trying to figure something out. I don't want audio. Choose what to share. I'm learning something. Somebody else is on here. Don't worry. Okay. We had two people. Then they left. Oh, look at that. Oh, okay. There we are. Nope. What just happened? Oh, man. I just learned something new. Look at this. What was I going to look up? I can't remember. Oh, sorry about that. Stop sharing. Okay. Let me go into. And I want to go show you all something that is just. It's hard for me to believe engineers even designed something this way. Let me get this. It's on a 2021 Ford Bronco. We're in a lot of Broncos lately. Well, I've put out a lot of content because I've had to do a little bit of work on them. There's some weird stuff on them, and I do a lot of work for a customer that has a body shop where he repairs a lot of wrecked vehicles. He buys them wrecked, fixes them, sells them. And table of contents. I don't think there's anything on here. No, we'll just do this. Table of contents. I won't show that. Powertrain, fuel, general information, description, operation, fuel system, saddle, fuel pump. There it is. Okay. Okay. I'm going to show you guys something. And window or entire screen. Let's do window. Share. Okay. So the weirdest thing on this Bronco. So the customer talks to me. He says he got it running, drove the Bronco for several weeks, but then the fuel gauge started acting up, and he actually ran out of fuel. It got to quarter tank. He ran out of fuel. He fills it all the way up, and the gauge won't even go all the way to full. So something's going on there. And we're both thinking ourselves, yeah, it's got to be the fuel gauge, right? It's got to be what it is. Or not the gauge, but the sending unit in the tank. It's got to be. So I said, well, let me drop the fuel tank, take a look at it. And being in a wreck, it probably got sloshed. The fuel sloshed and probably bent the sending unit arm or something like that. And so I drop the tank, look at it. No, well, a new sending unit on the fuel pump is like around 30. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't want to say how much it is because that's his cost, but it's relatively cheap for what, if it was several hundred, $100 more, we may have stopped us from replacing it pretty quick. So I put the sending unit in, I put the fuel tank back, and the gauge is reading the same. And we're like, what? There couldn't be anything else. And I start telling them, I'm like, some of these older saddle tanks, because it has a saddle tank, so the center goes over the drive shaft and the exhaust. And I'm like, the old ones had sending units on both sides that were serviceable. Maybe this one doesn't have a sending unit it doesn't have a sending unit on the other side, and it uses some logic to figure the fuel level. But then it dawns on me that I had to disconnect a 2-pin connector from the sending unit, basically up on the fuel module. I'd show you a picture, but they don't have good pictures in the workshop manual, I don't believe. Now that I say that, I'll go look. Lines. We'll just do fuel pump and sender assembly. Come on. Yeah, that's it. That's good enough. So underneath, you see the blue fuel pump module, center assembly. And you see the electrical connector there, a little kind of square shaped on top of there. Underneath there was two 2-pin connectors. One went to the sending unit that was on the fuel pump assembly. Another one you had to disconnect to remove the fuel pump assembly. And it didn't even click in my head for some reason. I'm guilty as other people that there's possibly something electrical on the other side of the tank. So let's go back up and read the overview. So the fuel system consists of fuel vapor and brake tubes and integrated bundle assembly, a saddle type fuel tank, quick connect fuel and vapor tube couplings, a fuel tank filler pipe assembly, which cannot be modified in any way, blah, blah, blah. An easy fill capless fuel tank filler, which I really like those in Fords. A supplemental refueling adapter located in, they come with a funnel. A fuel pump control module located in the fuel tank. A replaceable external fuel filter located on the fuel line in front of the tank if equipped. It's not equipped. A non-serviceable fuel level sender located on the right side of the fuel tank. A non-serviceable. So this thing, it has a sending unit on the right-hand side of the tank, but the only way you can replace it is by replacing the whole tank. So thankfully, we found salvage yards have many of these fuel tanks in stock used, and they're really reasonably priced, anywhere from like, I think I saw 150 to 250. So we got a used one, and that is my job tomorrow, is to knock that out, which it shouldn't take but a few hours to do. But I'm a nice guy, and I feel as though it was my job whenever I pulled the tank to inspect, and I really didn't find anything, but I was thinking, yeah, it's just got to be the sending unit, and I didn't. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to tank for free. Basically, I've already had the tank down, removed the pump once. I'm going to drop this tank again and swap tanks, and I'll eat the labor the second go around, because I should have stopped right then and had more sense and done a little research, and then I could have said, whoa, 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 we need a tank. That's what, So it's not his fault for me doing that. I could have saved myself a lot of headache. But you live and you learn. That's how the automotive business is, really. You look at it as a loss, but I try to look at all my failures as examples of learning. That way I can constantly, I don't take it as I got screwed and the customer is going to pay. No, I don't look at it that way. I don't look at it as I'm sick of the industry, and even though it's very frustrating at times, it's just constantly evolving, and it keeps you on your toes. So it's a learning experience. So from now on, if I have an issue with a fuel tank, a level sender, I'll look into it and see if it's actually something, if it has two sending units, is one acting up, causing problems. So, hey, somebody that's on here, shoot me a chat. Make sure you can hear me. Wow, it just fluctuated from 4 to 2. Somebody gave me a thumbs up, and it wasn't me. I'm going to do that, though, right now, so watch it. Watch. I don't know how. There it is. No, that's thumb. No, wrong one. There it is. Hit thumbs down. Is he going to? It's not going to do anything. Well, I'm going to eat a fig Newton bar. 2 thumbs up. What pump do I use to move fuel? I usually buy a inline fuel pump. Those ones, sometimes I think Edelbrock makes the ones at O'Reilly you can pick up. But I've actually gone through quite a few of those in the last couple of years. I'm guilty of using them to pump not only gasoline, but diesel and gear oil. They can pump gear oil. They can pump transmission fluid too. And so I think the combination of leaving the gear oil in there and the transmission fluid probably gums it up. But right now, for gasoline, I have a fuel pump that I can put down in something and transfer. Basically, I wire it to a battery and run it that way. I feel like it works pretty good. It's usually faster than the inline fuel pumps. Coffee. I'm a coffee addiction. Pretty bad. Okay. Now, one of the subscribers, Dunbar, I think it might be Dunbar Automotive or Dunbar Auto, or I can't remember. I know it's Dunbar. I'm pretty sure that's his last name. So he was asking me. He sent me a message in the last live stream about a 99 V10. So let's say it's in a 99. I'm going to bring up some information. Now that I know that I can switch screens, I can share information with you guys, and we can do all kinds of stuff. We can kind of diagnose things, and I can show you my process and where I get information and things like that. Let's see. Let's just go to an F250 because I'm guessing that's probably what it is. 99, 6.8 liter. So he has a V10 that's making good oil pressure, but one bank was loud. So it's one bank is possibly getting less oil pressure than the other bank, and I can't remember. Nope, that's the wrong one. Okay, let's see. Passenger side cylinder head, he's not getting much oil pressure. Dunbar, hey, F250 99 4x4 auto passenger side head. Okay, let's spend some time. I could not find diagrams, but I will share some information with you. I don't know if I'm legally can, but let's see. Let me find it. I did a little searching on the website on Identifix. I use Identifix, or it goes by Direct Hit, and I subscribe to there. That's where I get all my service information from. I like the layout of Identifix more than other companies, and Motor and Chilton and AllData really is the only one I can really compare to. But several years ago, AllData did not have like a search feature in their data to where you could actually contact them for assistance, or you see what other technicians are finding and going through what diagnostics they've done. And Identifix has had that for some time now, and so they have a really great actual repair hotline you can contact, and their guys can help you. And then you can search, and it will populate a search and show you other people that have had similar issues with that vehicle and the keywords. So let's do low oil pressure. Let's just do that because it may take us to that. Oh, no. Let's do valve train noise. I didn't get a reminder that you were going live. I did not actually put one out. I apologize. That is my mistake. I figured at the point that I finally, I had a reminder on my phone, on my calendar, and so I knew it, but then I was busy working and doing stuff. And by the time I remembered, it was only like an hour and a half before I was going to go live at 6. And I'm like, well, I need to do better. My big thing is just getting back to doing live streams and trying to get content out. And then I'm going to try to get more, what's the word I'm looking for? Organized, schedule wise. And since my wife's pregnant, she keeps saying that it's a good thing that we're popping a baby out because it will probably force me to be more organized. So she's probably right. I'm not going to argue with her. I won't win. And then she'll do something on my food and just chuckle every time I eat. Lifter noise on passenger side only, not getting good oil flow. Look at, okay, there's this one. There we are. Okay, I'll share the screen. What state am I at? I'm in Missouri. You're in Delaware. Yeah, I'm in the Midwest. It's starting to get a little warm here. Okay, let's go to here. We're gonna share. We're gonna, okay. Let's make sure you guys can see this. Let me go to my phone. Okay, you guys can see this. And I'm gonna keep my phone up here so I can possibly see the live stream. I need to get something to where I can prop my phone up and actually hold it. That would make sense. That way I don't have to fumble around. Okay, this covers vehicle applications. You can see there where it covers it. I'm going to try to move slowly so you guys can see. Customer concern, lifter noise on passenger side only, not getting good oil flow to passenger side lifters or to the timing chain tensioner on the passenger side. Engine oil pressure is good. So, passenger side, Dunbar, this is exactly the issue you're having. So let's see. So this, you go down, test procedures. They want you to check for a plugged orifice in the rearmost cam bearing cap or a restricted passage from the block to the orifice. The engine has oil feed passages in the rear right bearing cap for bank 1 and the left front cap for bank 2. So it looks like you go down here under confirmed fix summary, and then it gives you what people have said that are confirmed fixes. And the nice thing with Identifix is you come down here and it's actual reported fixes. It looks like the majority of people are cleaned engine oil feed orifices. Some people did lifters, replaced engine, replaced camshaft bearings, which I didn't know that was a thing. Well, some engines actually, some can bore and put bearings in there. Replace timing chain tensioner. I have seen plenty of tensioners cause low oil pressure. Clean air intake system and clean an oil feed orifice. I don't know why cleaning the air filter would do anything. Replaced connecting rod. Wow. But the majority of them you can see what the orifices are clear. You most likely have something that is bleeding oil off. I mean, it's the next thing is valve lifters, and there is a possibility one is collapsed or something. It's creating a restriction. There's some junk. Time and sets new. That's right. You said that. Man, what is this? Does this show us the orifice? No, I went through this before. Valve train analysis, engine running, valves and cylinder. Check for plugged oil drain back holes. Check for missing or damaged valve stem seals or guide. Check for a plugged oil metering orifice on the cylinder head. Oil reservoir, 4.6 engine only. Well, and that's it. I don't see anything else highlighted. Huh. New lifters. Lord. Huh. Okay, let me go back and see what I can find here. Orifice is on the last cam tower near firewall. Yeah. Yep. Okay, go back. Yeah, that's the only one. The rest of these are major engine failures, and it's just lifter noise. Original pressure reading was back, but not. Now there was a mechanical lifter. Very odd. Live chat restarted. Yeah, full disassemble is probably the next route, sadly. Thankfully, those engines are not overly complicated. There were years ago they were. Years ago, an overhead cam engine was just crazy to people. What? My computer just tried to update on me. Live chat just restarted. It didn't do anything to me. I don't know. K1500 transmission showed up today. Good deal. Good deal. Okay. I'm trying to look in here to see if I can look for any diagrams that we see anything. PCED, table of contents. Yeah, it does. Well, yeah, I would not try to fix an oiling issue by disassembling the engine in cab, then trying to inspect everything. You just can't get back into that area to actually look at things properly. I mean, just looking at the orifice was hard enough, I'm sure. Let's go in here. Powertrain. Engine. Used to, you could go to engine oiling. It would give you a good disassembly, assembly, description, operation. See, this is, I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. Okay. So if I go into, what is it, description operation, you can see it breaks down the engine into portions saying like intake manifold, cylinder heads, block, oil pan. Breaks down the intake and the ignition and the intake gaskets. You can see here. What'd you say? Oil pump is new with milling high volume. Old one had good pressure too. Definitely something going on. Low end components. What is this? Number 3? Is it? This thing's driving me nuts. Number 3 is a dowel. Okay. What's number 1 and 2? What's number 2? Oh, knock sensor. I don't know why that was a part of that. There's the oil pump, number 22, 21. And then if we come down, upper end components, I believe the orifice, it's probably not going to show us the orifice. It's probably going to just say that's a part of the cylinder head. Bolt, valve spring. I know I'm going fast. Major front end components and timing components. Yeah, that's used to. They would give you a diagram of oil flow because I know. Sorry, that's trippy whenever it goes like that. That's weird. I'm going to go to a 2010 V10 just to see. I think that's when they went 3-valve. Yes. But it may use some of the same logic. And it might give us an oil diagram. We can kind of go off of that. Well, I'll tell you what, 3-valve V10s are junk. People thought blown out spark plugs on the V10s were a pain in the ass. Wait till you're knocking rockers off and chewing up cams. God. Nope, that's not what I want. .303. What? Oh, well, that would make more sense. Description, operation, engine. Okay. Oh, that doesn't tell us much. I think there's less information on the 3-valve. General procedures. Bearing inspection, camshaft bearing journal. Core plug replacement. I don't know what that is. Core plug. Piston. Specifications. Yep, that doesn't. I think there's less information here than there was. Let's do engine. Oh, let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back to 99 and see. Do engine assembly and see if that tells us everything. Because Ford does a very good job showing you how to assemble the engine step by step. Powertrain, engine, 6.8, assembly, engine. Okay. Let's switch back over to screen share. Window, share. Okay. Yeah, I did the steel inserts on the spark plugs in this V10 while it was open, so much easier. You got that right. I'll put the main bearing code found on the front of the. Okay. Minimum block. That is never ran in that world. Okay, put the main bearings in, crank, thrust bearing, crank caps, main caps, whatever you want to call them. Install 10 dowel pins so that the flat side face. Oh. That's for the, okay. For the bolts on the side, that, torque that. Install the pistons and rods. Torque down rods. That coffee's hot. Hot coffee. Install the oil filter, oil cooler adapter. Looks like it's support bearings, dipstick, oil pump. Install the head gasket over the dowel pins. Do not turn the car shaft until instructed to do so. It's the lifting handle for the cylinder heads. I don't think I've ever used. Torque the cylinder heads down. Exhaust manifold gaskets, timing components, tensioner. Making sure the chain. I don't think we're. Oh yeah, those have a balancer shaft. The balancer shaft is on the left-hand head. That's the driver's side head. Okay, so that. Dunbar, you got a good one. I can relate. I usually get good ones too. And you got to think outside the box. Yeah, they're talking about installing valve covers and stuff, so we're past that. Man. Okay. This is gonna screw me, huh? Random low oil pressure, have a mechanical gauge hooked up 100% cold, 50-60. After 15 minutes or so, restart pressure is fine. No, that's not gonna do anything. Let me see what you just said. What's your opinion on torque yield rod and main bolts to reuse them? Seen both ways. There's some parts that I'll reuse torque yield bolts, but on the crank, anything with the rotating assembly scares me. Let's look up real quick. Let's go back up here, see if it says. Cylinder walls must connect rod. The rod caps installation must keep the same. Rod caps are of the correct design, must mate with install connecting rod bearings, position the connecting rod cap loosely. Be sure to tighten the bolts in 2 stages, tighten the connecting rods. This does not say anything about torque to yield bolts on rods. Now let me do disassembly. Oh, disassembly cylinder head. Oh, what is this? Let's see what this is. Okay, it does not. Oh, what's that? What's that? Okay, sorry, I got sidetracked because I saw an assembly and disassembly of sub-assemblies, which is cylinder head and connection rods. Okay, so vehicle removal. Let's go down. Okay, remove that, remove that, remove that, that. Get down to the where the rods, timing chains. Make sure connection rods, like and rod caps, are numbered to keep proper rotation. Remove the bolts in the connection rod caps. Rotate the crankshaft. Remove the bolts. Do not start. Remove the piston rod assembly. Use a connection rod guide tool. Repeat the previous steps until these. The workshop manual is not saying that the rod bolts are torque to yield. Remove the bolts and the connection rod caps. Okay, but then I move down. Let me share this with you guys. Okay, make sure. Look over at my live stream. Okay, you guys see it. So we go right here, and it's step 30. Caution, make sure connection rod bolts fall out. Remove the bolts and connection rod caps. Rotate the crankshaft so that the connection rod is at the bottom dead center. Remove the bolts. Oh, remove the bolts and discard them. I apologize. I didn't read. I apologize. See, that's why I always have to kind of read back over stuff. So the rod bolts are torque to yield. And then if we come down here, step 34 is showing the main bolts, and it says remove and discard the bolts. So they are torque to yield. I apologize, but I'm glad we stopped and did that. Stop sharing there. Go back. I'm going to go back to this website. So you're replacing oil pressure sensor. Yeah. Oh. I don't know. This is a good one. I apologize. Yeah, I think you're on the right track, Dunbar. I think removing the engine and disassembling and trying to pinpoint where the issue is. The cool thing, if you tore the engine down, let's say you remove the cylinder heads, leave the crank and pistons, and you leave the oil pan, or you put it back on just temporarily, and you put oil in it, you could turn the engine by hand and see if you get the same amount of oil. But at that point, if you're tearing it down, you could easily just clean all the oil galleys to make sure they're good. But if you have an oil leak somewhere, I really wish we could see where the oil passages go, because what if the driver side cylinder head gets fed off of an oil passage which it does. No, now that I say that, it does. Because what is it? Let me go back and look it up. No, it was on that other thing I found. How did he know that? The engine has oil feed passages in the right rear for bank one, which bank one is the passenger side, and the front cap for bank two. So does in that case is the driver's side cylinder head receiving oil pressure basically right off of the oil pump, and possibly the passenger side cylinder head is receiving oil pressure after it's fed the mains. How is the V10 on fuel? I've been told, and I've seen personally with friends' trucks and customers, what is it like? Around 12 miles a gallon. They'll a lot of them say it's like the old 460. They say that it gets the same fuel economy loaded as it does unloaded. Man, I wish I could find 1999 Ford 6.8 liter V10 oil passage diagram. That's not it. That's not it either. I don't know. It's a pig. Yeah, it is a pig. The V10s are pigs. Oh, you're good. Around Freddie, I don't know what to tell you. My live stream is 49 minutes and counting. It has not. It may be an internet connection on your side of it. I'm sorry. Man, I wish I could find an oil passage diagram. I don't see anything. Is Chevy going to come with? I've been seeing those reports. I don't see the reason for it. I can see a reason in their what is it? Their 50. was it they offer a bigger chassis, and what's that, the 5400 and the 5500, maybe offering something like that if they're trying to compete with companies like International and all those guys. But man, when they're making they're making 1,000 foot-pounds of torque on a 6.6, I don't understand the reason why you need to. 1,000 foot-pounds, you're starting to you're basically knocking on the door of the big rigs. I don't get it. I don't know what you'd need one for, but would it be kind of cool? Yeah, it would be, but an 8-liter diesel engine's a big engine and just physically large. I don't think I'm going to get lucky on finding a diagram. Dunbar, I'll tell you one thing. If you figure out the diagram and like you figure out how it's routed, you could draw something up and we could put something online. It would be awfully handy to people. It'd be difficult to figure out though without actually running the engine or at least spinning it over to get oil pressure. I have good internet. I don't know what. Let me see what my internet speed is. Yeah, V8 diesels are big. Let me see what my internet speed is. That is not what I wanted. Okay. Run speed test. Okay. I'm getting about 25 megabytes download. Yeah, okay. You guys might be onto something. I'm only getting like 1.6 megabytes upload. That's on the low side. It says it's fast, but I bet you that's low. I may have to contact my internet provider. Yeah, Dunbar, I believe that's probably the best thing to do is just tear it down and clean it. You may, if the main bearings look good, you may do a plastic gauge on the main and rod bearings to actually find out if it's excessive. You could be losing oil pressure, and that's what. Now thinking about it, the only thing I can think of that could affect if our driver's side cylinder head is getting fed basically right off the oil pump, or it tees off right before the oil goes to the mains and rods, and then the passenger cylinder head doesn't get oiled till after the mains and rods. If there's any excessive bearing clearance in the crank and rods, then that could be your low oil pressure on that side. May just do plastic gauge. Plastic gauge is pretty easy to do, but it's up to you. Everybody has their own ways of doing things, and as long as you're testing or getting facts rather than just assuming, the last thing you want to do is spend a whole lot of money on parts and you don't deliver to the customer. You guys got fast internet compared to me. I swear mine is supposed to be 5 megabytes upload. but it's only one. And that's ridiculous. I don't know why. Now that I say that, I've got an app from my internet down here in my shop, and it's probably going to tell me, nope, let's do a test. On my network. Bandwidth test. Run test. Yeah, it said, I don't know what date. The last one I ran, I was 28 megabytes download and 6 upload. So it's testing my router right now. I've had a lot of issues with the internet down here. I mean, it was really good, but last summer there was a thunderstorm and lightning struck a tree about 100 yards away from my shop, and it took out my antenna. Well, it's running a test, but it's acting like it's slow. Boy, coffee's good. Oh. Upload now is 2, so my internet must be, and my bandwidth test. Oh, it was on last test ran was November 26th, 2022. That's some time ago. Yeah, I may have to switch over to my phone possibly. Took many losses in my lifetime and more to come. Yeah. That's just how life is. My app for my internet is not happy. That may explain why everything's slow. Okay, is there anything else anybody wants to talk about? We're at 58 minutes. You guys have sat here and listened to me ramble, drink some coffee, eat some Fig Newtons. I don't know. I saw those. We do most of our grocery shopping at Sam's Club. We just buy in larger bulk. I'm a simple eating person, and so we tend to do that. And I usually get myself some kind of snack that is not healthy by any means, but it's helps me keep my sanity, I guess. I probably need to quit. But I saw Fig Newtons, and for some reason I wanted to eat those. They're okay. They say real fruit, but then you read on the back, and it says, contains a bioengineered food ingredient. Makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Okay, Dunbar, I wish we had better information for you, or at least something better to go off of than to, hey, tear down and good luck. But you've been doing it long enough, and I've been doing it long enough. Okay, great. Yeah, I definitely want to hear, but we've been doing it long enough to know that sometimes it's just what it takes. Some people don't like to hear that, but that's just how it is. I mean, the medical field does the same thing sometimes. Actually, it's probably worse. But okay, I appreciate everybody for getting on here. I will do a better job. I'm going to put down. Let's do. Let's see here. Let me look at my calendar. What do we got going on? I'm going to do another live stream Sunday at 6. I may do a little earlier to just knock it out. I've got several jobs I need to tear into. I've got a Jeep with a valve spring I have to replace. That does not look like a fun job, but maybe I'll have it torn down and share some of that with you guys. But I'm going to put in my calendar for this coming Sunday, which is the 25th, and we'll do 6. I may change my mind, but I will send a post on YouTube out. If I change my mind, I do it a different time. But yes, Dunbar's a 3.7 liter, I think. V6. The Panastar or Pana something. Anyway, okay, I get sidetracked really easy. So, anyway, this coming Sunday, as of right now, 6 p.m. I may change that. Look for an update. I will send a notification out Sunday morning and let you know what we're doing. I may send one out every day just so they kind of get going so people can see it. And I'll try to come up with more to talk about. We probably won't hear anything from Dunbar on the V10 until next week, just because tomorrow's Friday. But then again, that crazy son of a gun works weekends, and that's crazy. 4.7. I don't think it's a 4.7. It's the V6. I think it's a 3.7. And this one's, I got to remove the cam to get to the valve spring. And at that point, I can use some kind of tool to compress it. But yeah, it's going to be fun. Real fun. It's odd that valve spring breaking is a common thing now. I feel like it's across all brands. But okay, I will see you guys in the next one this Sunday, 6 p.m. I'll find something better to talk about. I appreciate everybody for coming, and I really do enjoy this. And hopefully, we can get more and more people on here, and we all can learn more and more, and we will all be able to do our jobs that much easier, right? Yeah. Anyway, okay, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot, guys.